Alright, from the darkness I return again. As always. I tried to make this video earlier, but for some reason it cut out. And I wasted a good, solid, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes talking for nothing. I've just had enough today. I've had it up to my ears, but I really was. There's been a culmination of thoughts that I have recognized lately. And I'm trying to figure out how I want to phrase it properly, because it is quite convoluted and complex. I mean, it's easy to understand, but it is kind of ass backwards. And I'm giving cred to all the people that I will mention. By no means, go follow them if you want to. Listen to them if you want to, but I'll be damned if they're not telling the truth. So let's start off with let's start off with TruthTiger. Go follow his channel. It's just simply TruthTiger. And he's dead ass on. And he was, basically just saying, like, they're always trying to pass the buck on to you. And just go fucking look at his channel. They're always making it your problem, not their problem. And Uchida echoed the same sentiment. She called it passing the potato, which, yes, it is. It's wherever the blame can be shifted, it will be shifted. Yeah, wherever they can lay the blame, they will lay the blame. And so with Uchida, I realize that the blame always goes on to the empathetic people that actually are, like, kind-hearted and caring and kind. For some reason, we are a target. Now, I want you to remember that point specifically. For some reason, the kind and caring people are a target. Now, on a side note, I think that's why I learned to be so freaking aggressive, because if you're kind and caring, you are a target, and you don't want to be a target, obviously. So anyway, I digress. With Uchida's video, she was saying, like, passing the hot potato, which is like just divvying out the abuse wherever they can, when they can. It's just like, here, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. And she's not wrong. All right. And TruthTiger wasn't wrong either. These people are just out there to fuck with you. There's really no rhyme or reason to why they want to fuck with you. They just want to fuck with you. They just want to cause damage wherever they can. Like I said, check his channel out, and check out Uchida's too. Obviously, I hope you've recognized Richard Grannon at this point. But to carry on, because I'm going to add my own salt into the mix, Richard Grannon was talking about, like, when you fall asleep, you start to see things. And I most def do, especially when I meditate. I will see shit. And he was talking about, seeing different shapes and this, that, and the other. Now, this is where it gets complicated. Not very complicated, but a little bit woo-woo, and I'm not woo-woo. I've heard a lot of people in my life say that, not a lot of people, very rare, actually, but multiple, that they can see, like, shapes and colors and stuff. And I don't doubt them. I honestly don't. And with Richard Grannon talking about seeing shapes and colors and blah, 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 when he falls asleep, I see the same thing. But what I saw, this is where it gets very interesting, honestly. What I saw was these toxic, narcissistic, weird individuals as a black orb. And all the people surrounding them were like blue or purple, peaceful orbs. And this black orb was so, like, charged, like electrically charged, that it would just shoot off to wherever the, closest distance was. Whatever, it could ground on. And again, I know that sounds fucking stupid, but that's what they do. They ground, they come in charged, electrically charged, and they ground wherever they can. Now, when this really, we all know that already, but when this really solidified with me is when I was watching this documentary about lightning bolts. And, everybody thinks that it just comes from the sky down, but it doesn't. It actually meets in the middle. Like, charge comes up from the earth and from the sky. All right. So when you start thinking about it that way, let's say this black orb, this negative, positive, well, it's a negative, but it's positively charged, comes into a situation, it's going to ground wherever it can. Just like in a car, if I have, like, power running through a system, it's going to ground where it can. It's either going to have a ground or not going to have a ground. And it's going to take the shortest path possible. Path of least resistance. So that's literally what narcissistic people do. They will, let me settle in a little bit. They will put themselves into a group or a formation or whatever you want to call it. And their positive but negative energy has to ground somewhere. It has to ground somewhere. Like, it's too much energy. It's too much ish for it not to have to find a ground. Otherwise, the relay is going to blow out. The fuse is going to blow out. It's going to overload the system. They have to ground it somewhere. And where they find the ground, and this is where Uchida's stuff came in, is the impasse. The nice people, the kind-hearted people, the, easy-going, easy-flowing type of people. And for some reason, And I fuck if I know, that's their ground. So our empathy, our sympathy, our apathy, not apathy, but you get what I mean. Us being a good people creates the ground that the lightning bolt's going to strike on. So, us being good people, we're sending up that first bolt of lightning where the top comes fucking down on you. And it's not like we do that intentionally, obviously. But we are just a target. Like we're sending out a vibe of like, oh, I'm nice. And they go, fuck you, screw you. And that really is how it works. And I mean, I just like when I envision it, I see that fucking black orb of just all this cooped up energy just shooting off lightning bolts everywhere. And it's always going towards, it's just like lightning. It's going to go wherever it can ground. If there's 6 different nice orbs around it and one of them leaves, it's going to pick the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. And it has to discharge that electrical energy, that bullshit has to discharge somewhere. And it's always going to go towards the empath or the kind-hearted, nice people. Now, why the fuck that is, I don't know. But it is a thing. So, I don't know. It was all a weird culmination of shit between Grannon, Uchida, and fucking TruthTiger, and then my own thoughts and the documentary. I just see it so clearly. It's like, if I have to close my eyes and just sit here and think of the narcissistic or abusive person as like an energy ball with lightning coming out of it, it just shoots to wherever it can fucking connect. It doesn't fucking care about where it connects. Just like lightning, it doesn't care about where it connects. It connects where it wants to connect, where it can ground. There is no emotion involved in lightning. There's no rationalization, logic in lightning. It just connects where it can connect. It's emotionless. It's heartless. It's nature. It does whatever the fuck it wants to do. So I hope that makes sense, because I'm kind of drunk and rambling on, but whatever. What can we do about it? And this is where I came in as like earlier, as that's probably why I'm very aggressive, is to prevent that. Because I think I, at a very early age, realized that, but I never like visualized it and like specifically noticed it, but I knew it inherently. Don't make yourself the target. Like, it's the old Japanese saying, like, the nail that sticks out gets a hammer. I kept my head down. I just shut the fuck up, or stayed out of situations, because I realized that if I did stick out, that I would be the ground, and then I got the lightning strike. But also at the same time, I realized that if I wasn't aggressive, it became, or I became more polarized to where I would become a ground 2. So there's a very fine fucking middle ground in that shit. You can't be overly aggressive because then they want to fucking ground on you, but you can't be just completely empathetic and passive because then they want to ground on you. I think that that's why the whole imagery that Grannon was talking about means so much to me, because they don't care where they ground. They just want to ground wherever the fuck they can at any given moment, just like lightning. It's unpredictable. We have no fucking idea where it's going to go. It just does what it does. And that's how they are. It's just haphazard, wherever the fuck is the easiest. Wherever the fuck is the easiest. And that's the same shit they do with relationships and family and everything in between. Wherever the fuck is easiest is where they're going to go. Again, I'm kind of recircling back here, whatever, ginsacking. Just like lightning, just like that orb is shooting shit off everywhere, they always take the path of least resistance. If they have their venom and bullshit and vile to spew, they will fucking spew it where it's easiest. Now, as a self-defense mechanism, I'm repeating myself, don't make it easy on them, and you will receive less of it. Less of it. Keyword, less of it. Because then it's going to take the path of least resistance. If there's somebody else to abuse that's easier, oh, trust me, they're going over there. Yeah, for sure. Somebody else that's a little bit less might strike that way this time, then might strike that way that time. So we have to stop being a grounding point for these people to strike. Now, with that being said, again, and Sam Vaknin has talked about this, and many, many other people, is the best thing is just to get the fuck out of the lightning storm. Just get the fuck out of the lightning storm. Because it's going to strike no matter what. It's going somewhere. Alright? That energy, that nastiness, that vibe, that charge is going somewhere. We just don't know where. Could be me. Could be you. Could be them. Could be the tree. I don't know. But it's going somewhere. It's charged up. It's amped up. It's gonna fucking release this fucking bullshit at some point in time. We just don't know where. So, I'll put it this way. I'm from the fucking country. I've been in lightning storms before. They're scary as shit. I've had lightning strike about 20 feet away from me before. It scared the fucking shit out of me. And you can taste lightning. You bet you didn't know that. You can taste it. The best thing to do, get the fuck away from it. It's basic survival skills. I mean, my fucking dogs and my cats knew that. When a thunderstorm, lightning storm came through, they just fucking hid. Best thing to do. Get the fuck away from this sporadic energy dump that these fuckers do to us. Just get away from it. Or, if you're smart, like me, yes, I'm going to brag about myself, because fuck yourself. You fucking make a Faraday cage. And their little fucking black orb Tesla coil shooting goddamn lightning out everywhere can go fuck itself. Make yourself impenetrable. It doesn't mean you have to be aggressive to be impenetrable. But you gotta fucking build up some defenses. And you can't allow that shit to continue to happen. Because God, I guess I'm just really frustrated. Their energy is just so over the top and sporadic. It literally is just little Tesla coil lightning bolts to everything that's innocent. It's disgusting. Yeah, so it's really weird, but all right. So anyway, credit given to all the individuals stated before, but yeah, when I really envision that as like just a ball of nasty energy that just fires off on wherever it can ground. It so fucking made sense, because it doesn't care where it's going to ground. It doesn't care at all. It's just going to ground where it can, and we need to make ourselves, a point that is not a ground. And I hope this means something to somebody out there. I know it was fucking long-winded and bullshitty and woo-woo, and I'm also relatively drunk, so whatever. But yeah, man, we gotta, just like the lightning that I was talking about, you can't let them ground on you. Don't put yourself in a position where you're putting out that first spark that the lightning lands on. Just fucking be neutral, be nothing to them. Let them go fucking fire off on somebody else. Let somebody else fucking deal with that bullshit. And it's hard as an empath and like a fucking kind person. You're always putting out those little feelers, but that's what gets you struck, is those little feelers. Oh, how are you? Oh, what's going on? How you been? Blah, blah, blah. Those are little feelers, and that's where the lightning wants to strike. Path of least resistance. That's what they do. Anyway, I'm going to shut the fuck up and go to bed because I'm an idiot. And I drank too much, but whatever. I just encourage everybody to think about that, man. Watch those videos on YouTube about lightning striking. And it takes the ground and the sky to make it. It's not one way. And we got to stop being a grounding point for these motherfuckers.